Oh my, pumpkin cheesecake. Maybe this year you're looking for something a little less traditional, but you still want to keep that pumpkin pie. So here's a try for a pumpkin cheesecake. Coming right up, this is one of those recipes you don't want to miss. Pumpkin cheesecake is surprisingly delicious. Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. It's a great pumpkin recipe exchange. I moved this one up instead of using it for the last day of my last video for It's a Great Pumpkin Recipe, because I thought about it, and this one may be one that you want to try for something different instead of the traditional pumpkin pie. So this is a pumpkin cheesecake. Oh my goodness, it is so delicious. It's a little more steps to it, a little more time consuming, but it's so well worth it. So the first thing you're going to need is 2 packs of cream cheese, softened at room temperature. It'll do better if you do. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'll give you the ingredients as we go along. And if I can remember, I will write it in the description, because this is one you don't want to miss. This is going to be one of those that you're going to think about after you ever try it. You're going to be amazed that pumpkin cheesecake is actually a thing, and it's actually very tasty. So let's see if I can get this one going. Should have opened it probably before I got started, but I didn't. Go ahead and get that right in. And I find when it's kind of softened at room temperature, you don't really waste any of it. It just falls right in. So we want to mix our sugar, which is going to be 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 2 of the 8-ounce cream cheeses. So we're going to beat that, mix it, however you want to say it. Right, mix it really well. Now we're going to add 1 can of pumpkin, the star of the show. Let me get a spoon for that. The entire can. Now the recipe calls for 16 ounce. This book is forgot to say that it's called Grandma's, I think, favorite, Grandma's Great Desserts. I think it is dated for like 1990s, around that, maybe 92. But it's a great old-fashioned, I guess a bunch of grannies got together and shared their favorite recipes. So anyway, it says 1 16-ounce can of pumpkin. As we all know, that's not what we have for today. Just that short time period later, now we have 15-ounce cans. But it's still going to work. It's still going to be good. So we have that. And now we're going to add our pumpkin spices, which is 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All of those are ground. I'm just going to dump them in. And we're going to blend it all together. And we're going to add 2 eggs, one at a time. Several people have asked me, is this fake eggs? No, my chickens are still laying like crazy. So these are fresh yard eggs. And of course, I always check them. So 1 egg at a time, and then beat it or mix it. And we're going to add our second egg. to get our cheesecake pan. Always get mixed up on what it's called. I don't know why, but I do. I guess it's sponge cake. Let's see. So you want to prepare it first. And I'm going to have a video on that probably right after this one comes out on how to make your graham cracker pie crust. But you have it all prepared. It's called a spring foam pan. So we have that already. I have to get it out the ice box. You prepare it, and then you don't bake that one. You just let it chill for a few minutes before you dump your pumpkin pie cream cheese mix in it. And we already have it prepared. It's already graham cracker crust in there. Let's move some of this out of our way. Alrighty. Now we're going to just simply dump our pumpkin cheesecake mix in our prepared pan. I'm trying to watch what I'm doing so I don't make a mess, so I'm just dumping it in there. Alright, I will finish cleaning this out in a minute because my hands is hurting. So anyway, we're just going to get the rest of that in there, flatten it out, and all you're going to do is bake it for 50 minutes in the oven at, let's see, I think it's 350, at 350 for about 50 minutes. And then we'll be right back and show you what that looks like, and then we're going to put a topping on it to finish it off. Our pumpkin cheesecake out of the oven. Now we're going to put a topping on it. The topping is going to be 1 container of sour cream, a 16 ounce, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of my homemade vanilla. All we're going to do is put that into a bowl and mix it all up really good. 1 16-ounce sour cream, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So you want to let your cheesecake rest for 5 minutes, but don't shut your oven off. Go ahead and leave it on. It's going to allow your cheesecake to settle down just a little bit. And you're going to put this topping on it, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for about 5 minutes. Now what we're going to do with this is put it on top. So I can slide this over without knocking it over on the floor. That would be horrible. Now we're just going to put our sour cream topping right on top carefully, because it's not going to be completely set just yet. So go slow with it. And the heat should help it to smooth out pretty good, because it's not completely done just yet. And after it sets overnight, it's going to finish the process of setting up in the refrigerator. Well, it's been overnight. It's the next morning. Right back a second for you later. However, on the top, I just pressed in some pecans that were chopped. That's why I said it didn't matter to me if the white topping was that smooth over the filling, because I was going to press in some pecans on top. Now, however, I must say, whenever I made this recipe the last time, I waited about 30 minutes or so for the filling, the cheesecake pumpkin part of it, to cool off longer. And then I put the topping, which was the sour cream and the sugar and the vanilla on top, and then baked it for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then let it cool off completely if you want it to be perfectly smooth on top. But of course I'm a little impatient, and that time I tried to follow the recipe. For whatever reason, folks, I do better just to do my own thing. But in this situation, and in this case, in this pumpkin cheesecake, it was totally fine because you're going to put the pecans on top and no one's going to know the difference anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of it. It is early in the morning, so we'll see how it turned out. And I think you're supposed to be able to get about 12 slices of it. So kind of cut it small. And then of course this is going to go right back into the ice box after it's all said and done. Of course I didn't get it out completely. Not the best with these little scoopers. But I do want to get the rest of that little bit of crust that fell off right there. Guess we can turn it over so y'all can see what it looks like. Alright, one of my pecans fell off. And let's get us a fork and give this a taste. I know it's delicious. I've made it several times. I think that one of the times that I made it, I did not put the white topping on it. I think I just didn't have sour cream, but it does definitely add to it. Absolutely delicious. I'm bringing y'all closer so y'all can see. See if I can do this, focus in. Makes a really thick, nice pumpkin cheesecake. Really delicious, very rich. I think I can see the top without making it fall off, but it's a little bumpy looking on top. But it is delicious. It is going to shock you just how delicious this pumpkin cheesecake is. Alrighty, so that is it for the pumpkin cheesecake. I'm just going to turn it so y'all can see where I cut it a little bit maybe. It is absolutely delicious. Amazing. Pumpkin cheesecake. It's a little more lengthy to make because you have to wait the 24 hours for it to chill. I actually surprised my husband didn't grab him a piece of it this morning, but he knew I had a video to finish up, so thank goodness he respected that, because normally it would have had a big old piece missing out of it. So thanks for joining me today, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a friendly comment. And I have one more pumpkin video coming out the day after Thanksgiving. So farewell, Homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Just wanted to give y'all a little close-up view of the pumpkin cheesecake. Absolutely amazing little cheesecake. Hope everyone has a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining me today. I hope y'all give this recipe a try.